Guess what? Longest day of the year, that means shortest night. The shortest night. There goes grandfather son. Made it up here to the top of this peak today, overlooking Santa Fe, New Mexico, the oldest state capital in the US of A. If you didn't know that and don't believe me, look it up. Look it up. Oldest state capital, 1610. 1610 for all you 1776ers. 1610, we were doing it over here in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's been a journey. The light. The light. Isn't that a powerful thing? What happens when the light comes on? I know that was probably one of the scariest things for me to face was the shadow. Was the shadow, was the shame, was the guilt, the grief, the sorrow, the regret, right? Some of the hardest situations of life we tuck away in the deepest, darkest part of our soul. That's where the truth lies, ain't it? That's where the real truth lies. And it is something that we want to keep buried. We want to keep hidden inside of us. We think that if we do just kind of brush that off and go about our business and carry on with life, somehow that's probably a winning strategy. I think we're learning different nowadays, though. I think if we look back on the past 50 years, especially for men, what was the primary role? To bring home the bacon, right? To maybe do some honeydews, have a little bit of a handyman-ness to yourself. And hopefully be able to get it done when required. But beyond that, men haven't been required to offer a whole lot more to the table. And yet that's what's caused so much men to live in desperation and suffering. And clearly women are directly impacted by this as well, because men have had to man up, fuck our feelings. And I truly do believe we are stepping into a new era to where we're not trying to get to just, we've seen a lot of, even recent generation of men kind of feminized, which is good in one regard, but not in another. So what we're doing is we've kind of swung from one extreme to the other, and guess what? There's a happy balance in between. It's sort of like if you think about the hero, right, and the villain. The hero is like flawless, perfect, right? You think of Superman, it's like there's not even one thing wrong with him other than what? Kryptonite. He's just so flawless, has no issues. And yet villains, are written into the story because they're meant to exemplify the qualities and the attributes of the hero. But yet, you know what? Most of us fall short of the hero archetype because we made mistakes. We've fallen on our faces. And some of us haven't figured out how to get back up. And yet, a villain is kind of a soulless entity. And yet, I kind of find myself, and maybe you'll relate to this, is somewhere in between. The anti-hero, the rebel, the outcast. right? Sort of that Sigma male. Think about Batman and Wolverine, rebels like James Dean. And I think that's what allows for people to feel a lot more connected, is the anti-hero actually rose from the ashes of so many men, women, people just falling short of the perfection of being the hero, the heroine. And yet we have the anti-hero who's not a villain, got good hearts, but they're carrying around some flaws. And yet it's funny that I've talked to several people in the past few days, some just by chance, and they revealed to me like a fear. There was something that was going on that they were like, for whatever reason, they're like, man, I'm kind of afraid of this situation. And I just looked into them and I said, you got to just channel that courageous warrior. You know, the warrior can be a heroic, but it can also be an anti-hero. And it's like to channel the hero, which is really just a courageous version of yourself. It is the higher self, but yet, you know, being underdeveloped, we don't truly believe that we can do this and face our fears. And yet, for some of us, one of the biggest fears for us to face is to just feel our feelings. Like, could you stop right now? I'm losing sunlight. I'm prepared. But I want to see if you can stop. Just pause and like check in with yourself. Emotional literacy is being able to name how you feel. And I like to take it deep, 3 levels deep. So when you say, I'm feeling fine, okay, well, how does fine feel? Let's sit in feeling fine, or I'm feeling okay, or I'm all right. You know, that's kind of like humoring me. You know, there's a bit of a rebel in that. There's a bit of immaturity in that. And there's also some wounding. Because, you know, I think our mind says, well, where's he going with this? I don't have time for this. I don't want to feel how I'm really feeling. I don't want to know what's really going on underneath the surface. Well, then what do you want to know about? You want to know about what someone else is feeling over there? You want to know how someone else feels when they win a fucking championship, right? I mean, you may get excited. You may get heartbroken if they don't win and you're rooting and cheering. But is that really how they're feeling? Holding the trophy, being in the spotlight, having worked so fucking hard to get there, just to lose at the last game or to be the victor? Do you really know how they fucking feel? Their entire life experience? No, you're just projecting. And most of the time we're doing that because we don't want to feel our own feelings. And we feel insignificant. We've made the mistakes, and so we're no longer the hero. We're just the fucking spectator of life. And it's like, that's a story that you've told yourself. When you can become the hero in your story. Because if you don't become the hero, like no one's coming to rescue you. No one is going to save you. I'll be honest, this may be as close as it gets to you getting a Mayday, Mayday, SOS, SOS, like, let's get it. Time to fucking go after it. But even then, I'm not here to rescue you. I'll walk it out with you, but you got to do the work. You don't have to do it alone. That's kind of nice. But even then, so many people are afraid of what that includes. Not doing it alone. We're so fucking stubborn that we would much rather suffer in silence, suffer by ourselves, be miserable, Because to do it with someone else, what is it? Heal, grow, change. What does that mean? To do with someone else, that means you might have to get intimate. And I'm not talking sexual. You may have to get vulnerable. You may have to be honest. You may have to be seen for the first time, for real, for real. And right, that's some tricky love. Look at that little cactus there. Let's see. You see him? Little heart cactus. Right, that kind of love is prickly. We're afraid to give ourselves that kind of love, to really be seen. And so what we lurk. We lurk in the shadows. We listen with a grain of salt, and we just kind of keep doing what we're doing, knowing that it could be better. There's nobody I'm talking to right now that your situation can improve. Your situation could start improving in 30 days, in 91 days, in 6 months, and for sure, a year. Some pretty significant growth. We got some people on here that have been putting in, locking in, doing the results kill excuses 1% better everyday journal, staying locked in, doing breath of life, right? Saying, just let me sign up for all the above. What do I got to lose? I'm just sitting here by myself, just wondering what it could be like, wishing something would happen. And yet, guess what? It takes courage to just try it. And if it really doesn't do anything, then what? What are you going to do with yourself? What are you going to do with yourself then if you actually try it? But see, here's the thing. You're not trying it. And even if you go into it with that negative ass fucking attitude, you're already projecting, you're already creating a negative loop versus just being open and saying, oh yeah, I'm down to try some new shit. I want something out of this. What is this? This is the Results Kill Excuses. 1% Better Everyday Journal. We got volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4s coming in hot. Because the goal would be to help guide you through 1 year of being locked in to a program that's going to help you shift, for sure, all the negative thinking, to start developing more accountability with yourself, and also to start tracking down goals. If you ain't got no goals, what in the hell are you accomplishing every day? Nada? There's a powerful verse. It's in the Bible. It says, you have not because you ask not. You know, there's some of you that just literally just need to ask for what it is that you want. You just need to ask. Maybe you need to ask for help. And you can do that. Doesn't have to be here. Somebody, there's a lot of people out there looking to help people like you, like me, right? I continue to ask for help. It's not always easy, but it's usually the best course of action, right? When we kind of take the weight of the world off our shoulders and say, you know what, let me get some support here. Let me allow someone else in, which is a challenge for a lot of people, to let someone else in because you've been burned. You have trust issues. It's hard to trust when you've been hurt time and time again. But why give up until you get what you truly desire? See, that's the problem. Which also means there's a solution. So your problem is you've had a bunch of bad shit happen, and so ultimately you've kind of in a state of apathy where you've given up. But that has more to do with your attitude than the reality of there actually being a solution to whatever it is you're dealing with. Anything you're dealing with right now, there is a solution. It's just how many times is it going to take for you to get there? I'm going to say that again because this is the message. Does not matter what you are facing right now. There is a number of how many times it's going to take until you actually achieve what it is. Thomas Edison, for him to create the incandescent light bulb, it was like 2,000 failures. I mean, that's insanity for most of us to think, man, to try the same thing over and over. You know, making little tweaks, getting feedback, micro feedbacks, but just saying, I'm going to keep going until I get it. I know I'm onto something. He knew. He knew he was onto something. Because the average motherfucker out there today, you'd give up after your 5th time, 10th time. I don't even think you get to 20. More or less 1,999 times trying something and not quite getting there yet. And it's sort of like you can apply that to so many areas of life. What about like fitness? Do you think you're going to get healthy after one good meal? One exercise? 1 week at the gym? No, fuck no. How many reps, how many healthy meals is it going to take for you to get to your goal? My guess is whatever a year's worth is, maybe 2 years. Some of you, it could be more. It depends on how determined, focused, dedicated, committed, relentless you are for whatever it is you want. If you want to change your financial situation, what is it going to take for you to figure out whatever it is that you can create that you would actually enjoy? This is a big piece of it. Don't just chase shit for money. So many people chase every idea because you think someone got rich quick off of it, or it's easy. And the problem is by the time you hear it, the people that got rich quick off of it, they're done, and then everyone else kind of doesn't get rich quick off of it. And then there's another burn, there's another fucking letdown. Oh man, tried another get rich quick scheme, right? Multi-level marketing, just tried something else, didn't work, didn't happen fast enough, never gonna happen for me. And it's like, man, you gotta have a longer vision than a week, a month, 6 months, a year, right? I mean, it's really you gotta extend your horizon. You know, a guy I super look up to is Alex Hormozi. He always talks about that. Your time horizons. Most people think in minutes, hours, days, and weeks. And, you know, he's just looking at years. He's thinking in times of years. And I love that approach. I mean, even on the health journey, he talks a lot about, you know, you can get real stressed out if you fuck up on your nutrition for today. But he says, well, look at it again, extend your time horizon. How many calories, you know, do you really destroy your fucking nutrition by screwing up one day? It just depends on your horizon. What are you looking at? If you look at it as a whole week, right? Break down whatever your goal was and divide it by a week, you can bounce back if you have the discipline. And more importantly, the vision. The vision. So what is your vision? And a lot of you, your vision doesn't go much farther than how you're feeling. And here's the problem. You don't want to know how you really feel. So you artificially do things to kind of pump you up. And then you're wondering why you're so fucking down. Because it's artificial. It's an artificial sweetener to your life versus the blood, the sweat, right? See that sweaty hat? That's a sweaty hat. That's a huge pack. This is a big mountain. Riding a fucking horse up here, or even just not coming at all, or pretending I went up here, which reminds me of it's again, the point of it is we want the express. We want to feel good and great about ourselves. So we go for it. We go for the shit that just gives us instant gratification, but not long-lasting results. And it really doesn't give you any results other than whatever happens for that brief amount of time. It was funny. I ran across these people when I was in the mountain town the other day, and they were coming back from trying to fish. I said, "Did you guys catch anything?" And the guy that had the fishing pole, is him and his girlfriend, he was like, "Nah." But the girlfriend said, "Well, we caught 5 earlier." And I said, "Oh, cool, really? Where did you catch them?" And she's like, "Oh, it was over there. It was my uncle." And I'm like, "Well, what is the we? There's no we. What do you mean we?" I was like, "Did you catch them or someone else?" "Oh, well, yeah, it was my uncle. He caught them." I'm like, "Well, then how are you counting that as you caught? We caught 5 fish, and she wasn't even there." But we do that. This is, you could laugh about that, but have you ever said, "My team won the big game. My team's the championship. My team's better than your team," right? And it's like you're not an owner and you're not a player. It's the same fucking delusion. And I laughed at her and I said, "Hey, that doesn't count." And I gave them some pointers. Look at that. There goes the sun. The last little kiss. Summer solstice. I'll finish up the story, but I'm going to mention this because I always say this. How you finish one season is how you start the next. If you didn't bust your ass finishing out spring, right, you just been kind of like cruising it, right? It's going to take you a minute to get up and running. But does that mean you shouldn't get up and running? No. Get up and running because, again, you have another opportunity to really fucking push through the summer. Push it hard. Get yourself a 1% better every day journal. Quit fucking around. Click on the link down below. Let me send that to you and start putting in the work. Really roll up your sleeves. Start locking in. For real, for real. It's so easy. Just follow along. Surrender to it. Make some quality time for yourself. And just enjoy the ride. Have some fun doing it. So I'm telling these guys, that doesn't count. Right? And so I gave them some pointers. I'm like, think about it. What you just said is like me. I was standing at the bottom of the mountain. I said, if I see someone up there, someone's at the top of the mountain, right? What if I said, "Hey, we climbed up to the mountain because that person's up there." Does that count? No, it fucking doesn't count. And we all want to do that. It's like we've gotten that lazy. That's what it is. It's just lazy. We've lost our zest for life. We've lost a sense of like frontiership, where it's like you putting in the work, homesteading, like you have a purpose for your life, doing things. Like you're the one doing it. You're the hero. You're the main character of your story. There's things that you're doing that matter to you, that truly actually impact your life. And if you're somebody that you think you got put on this planet to just watch other people and consume all the unhealthy foods and drink and smoke and just kind of chill the fuck out, so be it, man. Go do that. Have fun, right? As long as you're having fun deep down inside, as long as that's really what you enjoy doing, carry the fuck on. But if you're starting to question that lifestyle, starting to question that you just want something deeper. And I know this is where a lot of people are going to the deeper. A lot of people want something more meaningful to their life. And they're willing and searching. They're willing to do the work, and they're searching for what it is that can start to help them carve out that path for themselves. Well, you found it here. This is the journey that I'm on. Creating meaning and purpose for my life. Getting to know myself, being intimate with myself, being honest with myself, and ultimately realizing the parts of myself that I don't like. I don't have to stick with those. I don't have to keep them as is. I can change them. And you can do the same. And it would be awesome and even more powerful if we did it together. If you join the community by starting to participate, invest. 1% Better Everyday Journal, showing up for Breath of Life Healing Circle, right? Jump on the Results Kill Excuses Express. We're not going nowhere. And yet, this is your opportunity as you hear this message for you to start going somewhere. To start taking the control and the power back of your life. And you know it's your mind. Your mind's the thing that's fucking with you. Your mind's the thing that continues to beat you down, tell you ain't good enough and it's too late. Why even bother? Well, I'm here to tell you, you better fucking bother. Start giving a shit about your life. You're gonna regret it when you get to the end and you're like, fuck, I could have done more. I know I could have done more. And I played small. I played scared. Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that. Hopefully this message reaches you once and for all, and you finally take the leap. I know I'm going to be here cheering you on, whether you do it or not, right? If you have something to celebrate, right, let's celebrate it together. Comment down below. If you're working on something, right, if there's something that you have a goal for this season, which is usually 3 months, right? Seasons are about 3 months. Comment that down below. Let's start to visualize these goals together, right? Let's manifest these things for our lives. And when you start to declare it publicly, guess what? You really start to make some shifts inside of you, and then you get other people believing it, especially a community like this. People are going to start to believe in what you're thinking and what you're dreaming of and start to breathe life into it so that your dreams become your reality. You are a creator. You've created whatever it is you're dealing with now. And if you don't like it, create something else. Create something new. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.